Well, Penny, it's good to see you. How are you feeling?
Well, I'm coming. I'm coming along. Yeah, I'm
Sometimes that's the best we can do.
that's right.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So it's not perfect and it's way better.
I hear you.
That's good. Better part's good.
Yeah.
How's your breathing coming along?
I still have, a little bit low numbers, but it feels a lot better than it did. So, um, you know, and and it's very tough because I can't tell what's grief and what's holdover with breath stuff.
Wow.
And you practice your deep breathing and go into fits of coughing.
Yes, that has happened indeed. And I dehydrated myself inadvertently
Mm,
and learned how important water is for lungs.
wow. It is, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
It's easier to get dehydrated than you think.
right, right. And just all of a sudden my cough was back and it was pretty intense. And when I got myself regulated hydration wise, it was so much more improved.
Good.
Oh, I'll drink to
Good.
that.
Yeah, me too.
Daryl is joining us. Patty's joining us. Rita
Hey, Phyllis. Hi,
is joining
Cheryl,
us.
Rita.
Hi.
Welcome all.
Welcome.
Hello.
Just wait a couple more minutes for anybody else who might show up.
Yeah, how are things up there in Washington, Cheryl?
Wet
I bet it's wet down here, and I heard you're on the southern tip of the wet.
and windy. I just walked with my friend Yvonne at the Edmonds Marina, and boy, it was windy. But I got to see, let's see, grebes and goldeneye and brants and common mergansers and a sea lion and a lot of people out walking in the wind and the rain.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, if you don't like the wind and the rain, you're living in the wrong place.
And hi, Sylvia. I thought when it said PAX community, it was going to be Patty.
Oh,
Good to
yeah.
see you, Sylvia.
Patty's in Rome, of course.
Yeah,
You know that,
to be
right?
here.
Yeah. Maybe she
Yeah,
can
yeah.
can she zoom in from Rome, do you think?
She can. She may not tonight, but she said she was going
Oh,
to. It's
let's
1 o'clock by her time there,
It's
1 a.m.
I wouldn't blame her if she didn't
I know
come.
she has zoomed
I
in from
know.
Rome before.
Mhm. Yeah. So should we go ahead and start?
That's a pretty image.
I'll go ahead and start, and hopefully some more people will join us. Welcome, everyone. First Sundays provides a place where we can gather to share deeply about our hopes, our dreams, our aspirations, and grief while being guided by the four paths of creation spirituality. We'll spend time discussing and examining current issues and ideas as presented in the talks given at our May 2025 gathering. We will be looking at our lives and the world we live in through the lens of creation spirituality. We invite you to participate in ways that make you feel comfortable. Please use gallery view as it is the best way to see everyone. Please use the chat button at the bottom of your screen if you have questions, responses, or comments. We will have time to discuss the month's video and topic in the second half of our gathering. We will meet for about 90 minutes. Our team members are Patty, Charlie, Lori, Margie, and Cheryl. And I will turn it over to Margie.
Creation spirituality is the age-old tradition of listening to the story of spirit told by the creation that embodies it. We listen through deep communion with nature. We listen to the voices of mystics from all spiritual traditions, such as Rumi, Buddha, Hildegard, Black Elk, and Jesus. First Sundays provides us a place where we can gather to share deeply about our hopes, our dreams, our aspirations, and grief while being guided by the principles of the four paths of creation spirituality. During our time together, we will honor each other, ourselves, our ancestors, the earth, and the universe. We will spend time discussing and examining current issues and ideas as presented in the talks given at our May 2025 virtual gathering. We will be looking at our lives and the world through the lens of creation spirituality. All are welcome. This is an open and inclusive community. The first principle of creation spirituality. The universe is fundamentally a blessing. Our relationship with the universe fills us with awe.
Thank you,
Thank
Margie.
you, Margie.
So the opportunity tonight to be together, my name is Michael, is to really delve into this first principle, but do it in a new way so that each year we deepen our understanding. And an opportunity today to bring into focus the fact that we are beginning a new year, and it gives us a chance to focus differently. And kind of what does it mean to focus? And what does it mean to put on a lens of creation spirituality? What does it mean to put on the lens of the four paths? What does it mean to look at our world differently and imagine something differently through this path or through this principle? And so tonight we're looking at that, and we have the person who did do the speaking engagement with us back in May of 25 with us. We welcome Penny Andrews here tonight. So after we've watched the video from that session that we had back in May, then we'll have an opportunity to discuss it, and we'll also have a chance for Penny's reflections as well. So we welcome Penny here tonight. As we're going through tonight, I'm thinking, what would a New Year's resolution look like? What would we want to have our highest resolve about? What is the thing that we want to bring to the fore this year and look at it, focus on it, put our lens on it, imagine it differently? And I think that one thing that I'm thinking about tonight is, could we use the first principle as our New Year's resolution? Could it be what we would watch for this year? Could we actually say, that's my resolution? Or at least, can we imagine resolutions with new language? And as we're listening tonight, perhaps that will be a discussion point we can come back to. They say that only 8% of people ever do their New Year's resolution. That's horribly hopeless. And so the opportunity to increase that number just a little bit, and it may mean changing the way we say it. They say that 36% of people may do something to do their resolution. They'll just touch it and try to do something different. But it was so depressing to hear 8% of people's resolutions are the only people who get anything done in the year. So tonight, I'm asking us to think, as we're being together and spending this time in practice and prayer together, what could we do to remount our resolution, our moment of high resolve? And could a phrase like this, our relationship with the universe fills us with awe, could that be our resolution for the year? Lori.
Thank you, Michael. And welcome to all the people who have joined us in the last few minutes. We're very glad to have you. So at this time, we'd like to join the circle and introduce ourselves and do a land acknowledgement. So as we take time to welcome each other into our circle, please introduce yourself by stating the following aloud. Or if you are uncomfortable introducing yourself aloud, you may use the chat box to introduce yourself. The name you wish to be called, the pronouns you would like used to refer to you, where on the planet you are speaking from, the names of the ancestors who live or have lived on the land on which you reside today. And if you don't know what tribes lived on the land before, you can go to native-land.ca and put in your zip code, and it will tell you who lived on the land once long ago. And so we're going to do that. We usually kind of do it popcorn style, where we just each take a turn to share. And I'll go ahead and start us off. I'm Lori Crockett. My pronouns are she and her. And I live on the land of the Manahoac and the Shawnee tribes. And Margie, you want to go next? You got to unmute.
Sorry about that. I'm Margie, pronouns she, her. I live in Chiefland, Florida, the land of the Seminoles.
Michael, and I live in Berkeley, California. He, him, and it's the Ohlone land and peoples. Sylvia, you want to go next?
I'm Sylvia, she, her. I live on the land of the Piscataway, Potomac, Maryland.
I'm Penny, and my pronouns are she, her. I live outside Madison, Wisconsin, on the land of the Ho-Chunk people.
I'm Carolyn. I'm speaking from Alameda, California. My pronouns are Kikin, and I hope for 2026 I might for some day hear my pronouns. And I'm from the Ohlone, land of the Ohlone people.
My name is Kathleen, and I'm from Northern California by Yosemite, the land of the Miwok. And thank you.
My name is Joyce Rame. I'm a she, and I live in Fort Myers, Florida, in the land of the Calusa Indians, who unfortunately were totally demolished by the white people, but we honor them at every one of our first Sunday services at All Faiths, and we thank them for their contributions.
I'm Cheryl, and about 3 months ago, I moved north of Seattle to a town called Edmonds. So I'm keep having to still look up my Coast Salish people. They are the Snoqualmie, the Snohomish, and the Suquamish.
Okay. That takes care of all of us. Welcome, everyone.
One more.
Not yet. One more.
Tati.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
You'll have to unmute yourself, then we can hear you.
So sorry. Thank you. Thank you. I'm Toddy Blackstone, live on the edge of Los Angeles, California. There were Indians here, and I forget their name. I'm so sorry. I just turned 86, and I'm having trouble remembering everything but Matt Fox, without whom I wouldn't be alive. So I'm happy to be here with you.
Welcome. We're glad to have you. Thank you very much. Okay. As we have welcomed ourselves into this virtual circle, let us move more deeply into our connection with our Creator or Source. You're invited to take a few slow, deep breaths. Invite your body to relax and to soften anything that has become too tight within. Shake yourself out a bit. Become more comfortable in your skin. Follow the rising and falling of your breath. Center in your personal rhythm. Invite yourself in your own way to turn your awareness to the vital love force and life force that is within and all around you, and the vital love force that binds the universe together. Hold a moment in stillness with me. Let the stillness surround you. Invite yourself to become present to the deep reservoir of life that resides in this stillness. As a symbol of this renewed connection with our Creator, if it feels comfortable to you, we invite you to light a candle. You can light a real candle or hold the picture of a candle or find a picture of a candle on your cell phone or imagine your thumb as a candle. All of these lights remind us of the one light, the first light, our connection to the first beginning, the great flaring forth of creation. We now acknowledge this light and remember that everything in the known universe has its origin in a single point of light. We all stand together in the light of creation. At this time, we're going to honor the directions. The 7 sacred directions. You can turn to the direction as I mention it, or you can imagine yourself facing that direction. And we'll go one direction at a time. We honor the direction of the east, the dawn of the day, and all of the ancestors and wisdom teachers from the east. Now turn to the south. We honor the direction of the south, the fullness of the day, and all of the ancestors and wisdom teachers of the south. Now, if you would turn to the west, we honor the direction of the west, the dimming of the day, and all of the ancestors and wisdom teachers from the west. Now, please turn to the north. We honor the direction of the north, the darkness of the night and the shining of the stars, and all of the ancestors and wisdom teachers from the north. As we look within, we honor Creator that we experience within us as the fire of the human heart. We give thanks. We honor Creator that we experience above us in the radiance of the heavens. And we honor Creator that we experience below us in the firmness of the earth. Remind us, Creator, of our purity and creation, that we may never hesitate to perform your service. Aho. I will turn it over to Michael, who's going to lead us in body prayer.
Thank you, Lori. So when we're trying to focus, or we're trying to put a new lens on things, or we're trying to see differently, John Lennon gave us this word imagine, and to just say, imagine seeing something so different as he's describing here, and to put an actual new vision into the world, to find something new that you could say, this is so important to me that I could imagine it happening in my life this year. And to do this imagining, it occurred to me that we really need to open our eyes in a different way and to understand how important this view of the world is to us. And that is, of course, our principle number 1 tonight, that is fundamentally blessed, that we're completely indebted to this worldview of the world that we get every day. But perhaps we have to open our eyes again and again and again to find it. So I'll sing a line. We won't be able to hear each other, but the opportunity to have us sing together in our homes, it will change the frequency. It will change the world. Open my eyes, love. Just that much. Open my eyes, love. Help me to see your face. Help me to see your face. Open my eyes, love. Open my eyes, love. Help me to see. Help me to see. So it's just a few words. Open my eyes, love. Help me to see your face. Open my eyes, love. Help me to see. We'll just see if we can start putting those lines together. Open my eyes, love. Open my eyes, love. Help me to see your face. Open my eyes, love. Help me to see. Open my eyes, love. Open my eyes, love. Help me to see your face. Help me to see your face. Open my eyes. Open my eyes, love. Help me to see. Help me to see. One more time, just to get the tune in our hearts. Open my eyes, love. Open my eyes, love. Help me to see your face. Help me to see your face. Open my eyes. Open my eyes, love. Help me to see. And so I started thinking about all the things that we use, all the things that happen with our eyes. And so the first one I thought of is these glasses that I've got on. And so this gesture of open my eyes, love. So if you've got glasses, you can do this too. You can do it on your shirt. You can do it on anything you want. Help me to see your face. Open my eyes, love. Help me to see. And then I thought about the people with contacts, and I thought of them, open my eyes, love. Help me to see your face. Open my eyes, love. Help me to see. And then I thought about all the scientists with their microscopes. And it was, open my eyes, love. Help me to see your face. Open my eyes, love. Help me to see. And then I thought about a magnifying glass. Open my eyes, love. Help me to see your face. Open my eyes, love. Help me to see. And then I thought about those scopes that you pull out where it extends. I don't even know the name of them. Periscope, I don't know what they're called. But that got me to open my eyes, love. Help me to see your face. Open my eyes, love. Help me to see. And then I started thinking about the people who are looking through telescopes. Open my eyes, love. Help me to see your face. Open my eyes, love. Help me to see. And lastly, I thought about binoculars. Open my eyes, love. Help me to see your face. Open my eyes, love. Help me to see. Carolyn.
Thank you, Michael. So, we're inviting you now to come as you are and to be open to all that is within you now in this moment. Take stock of what's present within you and take a moment of stillness to notice what you're bringing into our time of connection and community. And we will be sharing our responses to each other aloud as we voice, as we go through the 4 paths here, pausing briefly to honor each spoken response. And we do ask that you're respectful with what you learn from someone else and hold confidentiality to our circle. And so, what has moved you to awe or wonder this week? This is a place where you can mention the joy, celebration, and honoring of others who are being strengthened by awe, wonder, or gratitude. So now then, take a moment of silence and remember any events, gifts, or surprises you've encountered this past week, and feel free to verbalize those aloud to the group.
My great-grandchildren come up this week and visit me for Christmas.
A celebration of a new year, gathering with friends and feeling optimistic about what 2026 may bring.
I too am feeling hopeful for the new year. I've read that it's the year of the fire horse, which means that it's a time for shifting into something greater coherence, old patterns falling away, and new creative forces are coming into play. And that fills me with hope.
I had a meeting with my grandchildren and 2 retired teachers. And my grandchildren had a big loss in November, but they were talking about going forward and what that might mean to them. And it was a moment of seeing and experiencing their resilience in the face of great sorrow.
I'm thinking about Hallmark movies right now, and just the holiday movies that tell stories that are filled with gratitude and celebration and wonder and paying attention and awe. I feel like it doesn't have to be a Hallmark movie, but just Christmas movies or holiday movies or movies that tell how spirit and love and gratitude blend at this time of year.
I was celebrating the little kids' response to a drumming group that I was in this afternoon. It was so wonderful seeing the little 2 and 3-year-olds responding to this drumming. It was delightful. Celebrating sound.
I'm delighted to imagine Sylvia in the drumming group with the 2 and 3-year-olds.
And so moving from the Via Positiva now, we want to think about where we have experienced loss, darkness, letting go, or things that we don't understand. And this is also a place to mention any grief, sadness, regret, or loss of others that is stirring your heart. Again, please be respectful and pause between your verbal honor offerings.
Yesterday, I had some sad news over a sudden passing of a 49-year-old friend who worked tirelessly and diligently to feed the hungry and teach children how to grow foods and learn so many amazing things. And he passed suddenly, unexpectedly at 49.
I found out this year that my 45-year-old daughter is now in jail for the next 2 years. And I'm sad about that, but I'm also grateful that she will be warm and clothed and fed while she's in there, which is preferable to she was on the streets before. So it's a mixed blessing. You want to unmute, Patty?
While the name of Margie is still on my screen, it reminds me that this week has been the hardest of my life because my favorite sister, we've talked every day for years, died. And we had a big memorial service. But what I realized is that all these years, she's been a really amazing teacher with international and national awards. And when the election happened, she turned into just so much hatred. She wasn't sick. She didn't have cancer. She wasn't in the hospital. She just died. And I've decided from that our bodies were not created to handle that much anger and fury and hatred that she just couldn't let go of and couldn't handle the number of relatives that had voted other than what she would have chosen them to vote for. So I've been going through a whole lot of learning, more learning than struggling with the loss at the moment, because it's just blown my mind. I loved her really a lot.
This is a time of the year that just stirs up so much grief. And I know for myself, I think about my parents who've passed, my siblings who've passed, and it's just poignant every year. I don't think time really changes that. And so for a lot of us, it ends up being a blue Christmas. And it's important to be in that space. And I welcome you here with me. Thank you, Toddy, for your sharing.
I lost my son in November. It was sudden and unexpected. And it has been the hardest 6 weeks of my life.
My heart goes out to all of you who have suffered so many serious losses and challenges with family members and friends. And this is a time of the year when we reflect on what really matters most in our lives. Grief and loss tells us what really matters, and it helps us to get our priorities straight. And my heart is with you. I send my healing prayers to you and all of your family members.
And if you're not comfortable sharing, you can put something in the chat. It won't be read, but it may be that you're not comfortable speaking up, and we want to honor that as well. But thank you so much. The Via Negativa is such a place of emptying out and, again, recognizing what's important. And in the midst of all that, we have opportunities to make changes within ourselves. And typically this can be expressed in the third path, the Via Creativa. So, as we know, in the midst of all this loss and grief that we've had, From ashes of our despair, we're often called to give in a different way, birth to new creations and expand our creativity. And so now we're going to name places where we've been called to give birth, where perhaps you're being called to expand your creativity. And this is also a rich time to mention others who are giving birth to new things and express your support for them. So again, take a moment of silence to contemplate and remember areas in the last week that sparked your creativity. And feel free to speak up when you're ready.
I'm sharing with my friends what I've discovered in the last several months, the beauties of sacred circle dancing. And I'm being creative in doing that. I'm hoping to bring more of my friends into the same circle that I'm experiencing, because it's a wonderful new thing in my life. 2 hours every week of sacred circle dancing. It's quite lovely.
I want to.
Oh, sorry.
I want to lift up my stepdaughter-in-law, Opal, who is due March 31st, and acknowledge that it's in this rough 6 weeks that I've had. My friend came out and we did what we do every year, raise up a question that is on our hearts and explore with whatever sources we look into, and create an art piece that helps carry us through the next year. And so, as it does every year, the Via Creativa was alive in that moment with us.
Well, mine's not a, maybe a big thing, but I just moved into a new house, and the backyard is about 1.25 acres, and there's no trees on it. And I didn't know how I would ever be able to fill it up the way I'd want it to. And this weekend, I came across this wonderful man who runs a nursery that sells his plants so inexpensively and is so excited about helping me create a new backyard so all the pollinators will come back in the spring.
I ordered and just planted in a window box for my front porch Angelique, beautiful pink Angelique tulips that will be the first thing to bloom in my yard in the spring.
I'll get to start teaching about 150 little kindergartners, pre-K and first graders starting tomorrow. So I'm beginning the new year with the voices of children and the opportunity to help them find their bodies and enjoy being in their body and being alive.
Hi, all. I just stumbled into this group because I met with some creative friends this morning, and one of them said she was starting the Artist's Way again. And so I decided to pull out the Artist's Way and give it another go. And as I was reading the beginning, it mentioned this, I think it's this group. I don't know if it's this group or not, but she mentions a group that's either this group or a similar group in the opening. And so I looked up to see if it still existed, and I found the calendar. So I just tuned in for the heck of it. And I've just had this beautiful day of I have a 14-year-old and then 2 college-age kids who are home for the holidays, and they're all off doing different things. And I've had this day of lighting a fire for the first time in a long time, and I'm working full time for the first time in a while. And the last time I did the Artist's Way, is the first time I actually ever finished it, and I wasn't working at that time. So I'm sort of like trying to figure out my path as to whether or not I can. Well, I'm just trying to figure out my path, and I'm going to go through it again with grace and figure it out. So, so this is lovely. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
you reminded me. I was going to talk about, and I will mention, moving from the negativa to the creativa. I made stars of each one of my past family members and put them on my tree. And that was very special. I put my mom and my dad at the top. So I don't have my old decorations, so I had to make some. So that was a lot of fun, and it was nice to have them that way on my tree. But you reminded me, Gail. Like, finally decided to start reading this book that Matt Fox has been recommending for a zillion years, Auto Rank Art and Artist. So I've been trying to plow through some of that. It's quite dense. But it's really just raising my awareness of creativity and how it inspires our personality and how interactive that is. So I've just started it, but I think it's exciting to even just look at that creativity and pour some gasoline on it. Well, it looks like we're ready to move now into the transformativa. So often in the midst of these paths as we're going through, we find transformation taking place in ourselves and others around us. So this is a time for us to mention that transformation taking place in our culture, our earth, our social institutions, and our deepest understanding. And it's also a great place to call out those transformers who have particularly inspired you. Again, feel free to speak up. I just want to call out Penny as a transformer and how grateful we are for your presence here, but also your presence on planet Earth and what you're doing, and the coherence that you're providing. Is you really are a true transformer amongst us, and thank you so much for being here with us today.
I'd like to add the names Matt Fox and Julia Cameron that wrote The Artist's Way. She was fabulous.
I'd like to call out Zoran Mandani and like what we just see taking place in New York, and that whole inauguration was so inspirational. And yeah, so
I want to mention Thomas Berry. I'm reading his the excerpts from Thomas Berry's work. It's called A Book of Hours, I think. And Thomas Berry is becoming more known now, I think, than he ever was, because many are now looking at our connection with with our earth, and how, of course, Thomas Berry was so real and so wonderful in expressing our connection with the earth. I'm so happy to see his work now being discussed in many ways now, and I love that.
This is a time of year for transformation. This morning I gave a sermon at our All Faiths congregation. The way you see the world matters. And I cited Albert Einstein. The most fundamental question we can ever ask ourselves is whether or not the universe we live in is friendly or hostile. We have too much negative thinking going on in our world today. People are filled with fear. They're filled with anger. You have young people dying just from the anger and rage that's killing them from within. So we need, at our church, we have monthly themes, and our monthly theme for January was resistance. So I proposed resistance against those negative worldviews that we sustain within ourselves, because this is a time for reflection and to improve ourselves. Typically, you think of resistance as changing the world and changing other people and fighting against things outside us. But often the biggest enemy is that negative worldview that we maintain inside with our anger, our regrets, our sense of being victims, the fact that we don't connect with the universe. So the whole goal of transformation is to recognize that we are part of that universal consciousness. The universe is a friendly place. It has been for billions of years. The earth is our mother earth. The trees give us air to breathe. There's so many blessings in our world. So for this time of transformation, let's transform our worldviews and not focus only on the negative.
Thank you for that, Joyce. I wish I still lived in Fort Myers. I'd be at your church. I used to live there. Beautiful. Thank you.
I'd love to call out two other people if I could. Heather Ensworth, she's an astrologer, and I was just listening to a video podcast thing with she and another person just now, and she's talking about this whole just this moment that we're in right now and the end of the Kali Yuga, and just that we really are as humanity at this point of kind of ending the wheel of kind of karma that we've been going through and actually kind of reaching that next place. And all the stuff that we're witnessing in the world right now, unfortunately, is part of that. But she, and then also this comedian poet who I stumbled across the other day, who I love, named Alok, A-L-O-K, and he has a one-man show called Biology. Or they have a one-man show or one-person show called Biology, and they're trans, and but it's just this beautiful. It gets into racism and sexuality, and even in his poetics, he took me to a place where I was not expecting, because my father passed away of dementia this summer, and he even got into a place of talking about his father passing away to dementia. So he was dealing with death. So this poem, he goes into poems in the middle of his comedy, and it's really it's beautiful.
I'd like to mention one more thing about how inspired I am by the Buddhist monks that are walking the walk of peace for the last, 70 something. I think they're up to their 70 some second day or something like that. Totally amazing and inspiring.
Well, I
Where
know
is
a
that
lot.
going on? Where is that going on, Margie?
I forgot where they started. Way down south somewhere, Alabama or that area. I don't know for sure, but they're now in Georgia. I think they're about ready to hit North Carolina, and they're going all the way to DC.
I think they started in Texas.
Is it Texas? I don't remember the starting point, but I know they've been doing it for quite a while now. You'll be walking longer than I would have.
Mm. And
then they have a dog that's walking with them too that was a stray, and it's determined to walk with them. It's really cute.
Well, sometimes we limit our thinking to think the Transformers are just in Homo sapien form, and that is so not true, as many of us know from our own relationships with four-legged friends and birds of the air and even the mosquitoes that chew on us at night. So we have gathered together and we have offered up our hopes, awe, and wonder. We've offered up our grief. We've shared our worries and our concerns. We've shared our creativity. And we've also tapped into transformations. And we just want to now honor all of them and give them to the Creator. Aho. Thank you. And now I think it passes back to Michael.
Thank you, Lori. So this imagining, and I've been thinking about this song, and so we talked about opening our eyes, and then there's this thing called our third eye, which I think is right. Sometimes you touch your forehead here, and other times people think of it as the higher, the power of it right above our heads and our heart, right above our head. But this third eye, and so then I got thinking about open our mind, love. Help me to know like you. Open my mind, love. Help me to know. And then I got into my heart and I was thinking, open my heart, love. Help me to love like you. Open my heart, love. Help me to love. And so I realized I have to open up all these lenses in myself and in my world, in my body, to see things and to feel things and to hear things. And then I got to my lungs. Open my lungs, love. Help me to breathe like you. Open my lungs, love. Help me to breathe. And then I tried to find my soul. I didn't know where to put it, but I said it's here. So open my soul, love. Help me to be like you. Open my soul, love. Help me to be. And that took me back to my eyes. Open my eyes, love. Help me to see like you. Open my eyes, love. Help me to see. And so that's what I thought we needed to imagine today as we try to move into this new resolve, this New Year's resolution, this journey we're on today. I think it's back to Lori or onto our video.
It's going to take me just a second, but I'm going to bring up a video from earlier this year when we had our gathering, and Penny Andrews, our esteemed guest today, gave a wonderful talk. And so I have to backtrack on a couple of things to pull up the video for that. Okay.
Penny graduated from UCS in 2001 and is a spiritual companion, a workshop leader, and a presenter in Unitarian congregations. She is also active with the Deep Time Network as a coherence guide, meditation mentor, and learner. Penny and Gail Ransom created the webinar Creation in Crisis, a CSC-sponsored offering. It then transitioned to Global Kinship. Penny co-hosts with Mark Steiner the monthly CS Community of Practice. Penny, welcome.
Well, thank you all. It's been quite wonderful experiencing the gifts of this community and each other. I'd like to start with just a quick chat exercise where I invite you to think through last night to today and one word that might characterize our community. And if you could, just very quickly type in the first word that pops into your mind. We are. Now I'm going to turn this in a little bit of a trickster maneuver and say, our universe is. And as you can see, and maybe you just read it while you're in mute with me, starting with, we are curious, we are love. The universe is fully alive. The universe is synthesis. The universe is one, open, caring, oasis, renewing, cosmic. The universe is together, blessed, evolving, grateful, remembering, community, connected, mutually enhancing, union, genuine, clear, honest, and on it goes. And Einstein said at one point in his life, he said, "What is your universe? Is it friendly? It'll make all the difference." Because we know we have multiple voices at work these days. But in this community, this island of coherence for this moment in time, we are all of those. And our universe is too. So I'm going to share some thoughts on islands of coherence that come directly out of science as a term. When complexity became part of science with the advent of computers, things burst open. And what that brought forth is that in studying complexity and chaos, Ilya Prigogine found that one of the islands of coherence that had the strongest energy around it would become the next one in the system to prevail. And so it is, since I've learned that terminology, I follow the thread of islands of coherence, and I'd like to share some reflections. I'm here not as an expert, but as a fellow thread in this mysterious, magnificent, trembling weave of life. We are gathered here virtually, but we're also here spiritually, metabolically, and mythically, in a moment that is not just a moment, but a threshold, a hinge in planetary time. And together we are breathing in this threshold, breathing with it, breathing through it, breathing as it. The old era, what scientists and geologists have named the Cenozoic, is ending. Not in a single cataclysmic or line in the sand, but in waves of unraveling. This was an age of flowering plants, flourishing mammals, deepening biodiversity. It gave rise to consciousness, to art, to ritual. And now we feel in our bones and our breath that something is changing. Some call what's coming the Ecozoic, others call it the Symbiocene era, an age of rejoining, of rooting once more into the sacred ecology of becoming and belonging. But let's be honest, we're still in the in-between, still composting the grief of what is collapsing, still fumbling toward the patterns of what might yet come alive. We're not here to skip past the grief, as JD spoke of so articulately this afternoon. We're here to hold it gently and reverently, creatively, to sing with it, to paint with it, to make beauty not despite of loss, but with it. Let us honor this vulnerability, not as weakness, but as sacred openness. To be human now is to feel tender, to carry awe and anxiety side by side, to know that we are both incredibly small and irreducibly significant. Each of us a trembling voice in Earth's choir, a fractal of the cosmos shaped by stardust, still singing. Yes, we're vulnerable, but not in isolation. We are vulnerable together, entangled, interwoven, and relationally held.
It stretches and expands like a rubber band.
Can we mute ourselves, please?
Swivel 360 degrees.
And within that vulnerability lies our resilience, not the kind that pretends everything will be fine, but the kind that can dance with paradox. The resilience of fungi, turning decay into nourishment. The resilience of rivers, finding new paths around the rubble. The resilience of art, making meaning in the void. The resilience of spirit, refusing to go numb even when it hurts. We are not alone in this work, and we were never meant to carry it alone. Creation is not a solo performance. It's a choir, it's a mural, it's a symphony. And this echoes what Thomas Berry says. The great work of our time is to create a new human, one who lives in resonance with the soul of the earth, as Schuyler shared last night. Not someone extracted from life, but someone in communion with it. Fritjof Capra, who's made a study of living systems, has come up with 4 principles that are at the root of all living systems. It starts with creativity. The universe is creative, as we hear from Brian Swim, as is our Earth. We are a rocky planet who created this iris that's growing in my garden. Foundationally creative we are. Life is intelligent. That means we respond to our environment. It's regenerative. Or resilient, you might prefer. And ultimately, it is relational. Everything is in communion. So here we are, a constellation of differentiated subjects in communion, not seeking sameness, but seeking coherence. And so I wonder, what if in this in-between time, in this planetary rite of passage, what if we looked at it as an invitation to deepen our participation? What if we were to midwife a different way of being together? In this moment, if we listen to Earth as teacher, to dance with the cosmos as kin, and to remember that we are not separate from the sacred, we are expressions of it. Inhale the wonder of your aliveness. Exhale the illusion of separation. Inhale the lineage of stars that live in your bones. Exhale the myth of control. Inhale the possibility that even in unraveling, life is composting new dreams. Exhale the need to know exactly where we're going. This is not the end of the world. It is the end of a particular world, a world that was built on dominance, extraction, certainty, and speed. So what comes next? We don't know. We're not supposed to know. We are here to walk into the unknown together with open hearts, soiled hands, songs that remember the stars, and stories that remember the soil. You are part of this great turning. Your creativity matters. Your grief matters. Your joy, your confusion, your presence, they all matter. So let us root together in this sacred mystery, not as heroes, not as saviors, but as artists of the in-between, as midwives of the possible, as kin among kin, walking slowly, singing softly or loudly, listening deeply. As the Cenozoic exhales its final breath and the new era whispers, are you listening? Will you tend to me? Will you create with me? Will you remember that you too are sacred earth becoming? Let us be the earth that builds the island, that becomes a path for 7 generations to point to, through our ritual, through our art, through the work of our hands, and through our shared silence of deep gratitude for this gift of being alive. Or as Joanna Macy, in her many, many years of doing difficult, important work for we humans, she says it's an honor to be alive right now. Sometimes that's hard to take in. And yet if our lives are sacred, if this life is sacred here on earth, we know that to be true. The gift of living our lives with the knowledge that life is sacred. Risk it to live this life out loud.
Thank you, Penny. Thank you for sharing that with us in May and again today as we try to deepen and revisit and reimagine with your words and your ideas. We're at the top of a new year, and so we have talked about this idea of a resolution. So we want to talk with one another, and I think we've got enough people that we could have 2 groups, if that feels okay, Lori. Just that way we'll have a little chance to talk with each other, and then we'll come back and we'll talk together. But won't you refresh our memories on respect, Lori?
It's not up there.
Yes,
Is it up there?
it is.
Okay. The respect guidelines, we use the following letters. R, take responsibility for what you say and feel without blaming others. E, use empathetic listening. S, be sensitive to differences in communication styles. P, ponder what you hear and feel before you speak. E, examine your own assumptions and perceptions. C, keep confidentiality. T, trust ambiguity, because we are not here to debate who is right or who is wrong.
And so the heart of our question that we'll invite people to think about today, again, we're here with Joanna Macy's words. Do not look away. Do not avert your gaze. Do not turn aside. Like, this is the moment where we need somebody to have focus. This is where we need somebody to have a lens on something, and where we need to look deeply into it and say, no, I'm going to be right with this now. I'm going to be present to this now. This is that day where 3 kings historically celebrate the arrival of a new life and new beginnings, and show up at a child and something happens in their wisdom exchange. And so, like we said earlier, it may be that we're going to say something as simple as our relationship with the universe fills us with awe for a whole year. Or I'm going to not look away, not avert my gaze, and not turn aside for a whole year. And it could be that we'll use someone's words, or it could be we'll use our own words. But what kind of a new resolve could we make today that would be valuable and that would be achievable? There's the trick, that it's achievable because it would be so innate and simple with us to talk about it that it could possibly come up in our discussions every day, somewhere, somehow. Or I could remind myself every time I'm thinking about something, I could just go, oh yeah, stay here. And I would have a way to remind me to come in to focus. Or I would remind, oh my heavens, everything is making me fill with awe today. So I'm just inviting us. We can say that we're going to do something as an incremental step to get to that. That's fine. That's cool. But just for us to heartstorm together, maybe 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes out there in our small groups. Then we'll come back. We'll see if there's anything that we want to share there, and also give Penny a chance to maybe share any wisdom that she's seen over the last bit of time to give us a place to say, where can we put our resolve this year? What could our new imagination look like, our new focus, our new vision, our new being with? Is that clear enough of an idea to go out and chat about for a moment? Everybody just speak from your heart and have what would be the thing that would lure you enough all year? And we'll come back in like 7 minutes and we'll see if there's something to share in the big group. And then we'll come back and see if Penny has anything to add, and an open discussion for a little while. So if you'd like, you can join the smaller groups, and we'll see you back here in 7 or so minutes. Any questions? Have fun.
I don't know what happened to me. Got bumped out somehow.
Oh, yeah. I wondered, Margie, what happened to you? Did
I don't
you
know.
come?
I went in and then all of a sudden I disappeared.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Magic that. Sorry about
I,
that, guy.
if there's something
And
that someone heard in their session that you'd love to share, please do that. And I would say keep it brief. And then we'll try to give Penny a moment just to sum up anything because of her openings and then her chance to have a final word. But it's this moment to discuss together just for a few moments here, something you heard that gives you resolution or high resolve. This is think time. There's no rush. We just hold the stillness as a place for imagining. And if it continues, then I'll let Penny just jump in.
I shared a need that I have with my son. Um, how do you communicate what we all know in language that would appeal to him? Because he's been away from ordinary religion. The Catholic Church does not appeal to him, understandably. Um, as it mostly is, although I'm still a practicing person, different in a different kind of church. But anyway, if and so my need, and I think a need maybe of a lot of us, is developing a way of communicating with people who don't really quite perhaps are on our wavelength, but they're in a different space, having rejected something that was familiar in the past, but not quite at our understanding. So that was something I expressed, and I'm just looking for the way to communicate well so that we listen to what they need and make it, you know, make it make what we are at acceptable and welcoming. And do you know what I mean?
I knew what you mean.
Smiling.
I know what you mean. I approached a Catholic church here recently about ladies group, and I told them about Laudato Si, being an animator for them, and they expressed interest in it, and so they traded phone numbers with me, and then we text back and forth, and then finally the lady came back to me and she says, nobody in the group's ready to hear that yet,
Oh,
which I thought was kind of interesting because Pope Francis is the one that started
beautiful.
to see, and Pope Leo is still, encouraging it. So that's an excellent question. I have the
Yeah.
same.
How do you make that connection? Laudato Si has wonderful, maybe just excerpts from Laudato Si, like some people pull out from the Bible,
Yeah,
different things.
I did send some things, and she was going to put it in the bulletin, but then they backed away. So I don't know where I'm at this point on that. That is an excellent question.
a good question. And Cheryl put some books in the chat, Margie.
Okay.
I'd like to go ahead and let Penny answer that question if she'd like to jump on it.
Oh, well, yeah, Sylvia, that touched something that's been a guiding light for me because um, it's how do we speak like the universe, right? And one thing that a practice, and it's a great practice, it's a wonderful practice, is to listen to your favorite authors and poets and artists and look for the universal in their words. And what comes to mind for me is that I was listening to Wendell Berry, and he's a lovely person all the way around, but he talks like the universe too. And so the thing with the universe is we're all in it, right? One of my favorite quotes is, "We are all connected to each other biologically, to the earth chemically, and to the rest of the universe atomically." So if you can engage on that level, another way of saying that is the noetic, the seeing Earth from the moon, where you're seeing the wholeness of life experience. That, I mean, to engage on that level could be really thrilling. And it is an intentional goal of mine, to engage in what I call quantum expression, that everybody feels welcome in my words, because that is cosmic generosity, as Michael was talking about, that the universe is giving it away all the time. And we have so many human constraints, and I don't want to take too long, but once you get me started, there's a word in the Buddhist tradition, Shenpa, and what that means is that experience of clenching, of contracting. We all know that feeling because we've all had it. And to me, that's the exact opposite of what you're trying to engage with your son in and on, is you want not Shenpa, but you want whatever their word for the opposite of that is engagement, and there are many, many ways to do it, including you bring your favorite poet, he brings his favorite poet, and you read your favorite poem to each other. And just see what breaks open in that languaging world.
Thank you. I see that Meeting Jesus for the First Time, Marcus Board. That's an old book, isn't it? I never read it. Sounds to me like that might make a connection between what he knows from his friend and a different way of looking at Jesus' words. So thank you so much for this. I appreciate it.
Sylvia, you're welcome. And I will just tell you that for me, as a recovering fundamentalist, or having been raised in the fundamentalist tradition in the Baptist Church, those kinds of books that liberate Jesus, so to speak, for me, and like Matthew Fox's Creation Spirituality, the original Blessing, the primer. It's like, okay, I don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater, and what I knew inside all along really is true. The other person that comes to mind for recovery from fundamentalism is John Philip Newell. He's Canadian and probably wants to claim a little bit of Scottish, but recovering missionary kid, pastor kid, and John Philip Newell, Christ of the Celts, the Christ of the Celts book. If you can get that one on audiobook and hear him read it.
Would you repeat it again?
I'll put it in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sylvia, I put the name of the book I told our group in the chat for you.
I see it. I see it.
I have not at all been a fundamentalist myself, but I'm born and raised in China with missionary parents, and I've been thrown out of 20 fundamentalist schools. And so I know a lot about them. And it's partly what I loved so much about this book. It's from all different quotes and books and religions. And it's just showing such a way for us to be a really different kind of world than one we are now. So I think that it might be just what you're looking for. And I'm happy to send you my copy so you don't have to buy it if you want.
Oh, thank you.
Whatever.
But this information is really good. It's made me think about, how you communicate what he knew. I've rejected it, and how you communicate what we know now, which is larger. That's beautiful. Thank you so much, all of you. I appreciate it. I'm sorry I kind of monopolized this question,
I
but
think
thank
this is
you.
precisely our goal. We just embodied what we hope to do for a new year, which is to be a partner in
Yeah.
all of this. I know that you probably know this, but up at the very top, there's those three little dots in your chat, if your chat box
I
is
see it.
open.
Yeah.
And if you touch that thing, it says save chat. And if you do that, it'll pop onto your screen and you'll have all those books.
Yeah.
We probably need to close to honor our time and our shape of the day. But this is the dream, is to have this kind of engagement and sharing and wisdom share. I know that this is a gift that we all give away, and so we always offer folks the opportunity on the next slide to say if there's a way to be a joining us in our work here and to be a part of this Sunday community or this first Sunday community, that if you have time, talent, and treasure to share, we have people here who are joining us to be on this team. And if you'd love to be here and just read parts of things or be the idea person, I'd love to have us talk about this. If you like to do that, if you want to share your treasure, there's a way to mail that in, or to you'll always get a follow-up letter from this event, and it'll have all these things in it as well. As long as there's a way that everybody captures your presence on this day today. And so if you're not on a mailing list already, if you could put your email address into the chat, then we'll try to make sure that those get added. Sharing time, treasure, and talent. That's how we raise the circulation of the generosity of the world. My sister calls it outrageous generosity, to do something that would give your time, treasure, and talent away, just like the universe does every day. Lori, would you like to bring us to a close?
Yes. I hope I have a feeling that I've lost everything. Are y'all able to see this?
Yes.
This is good. I had to go back and retrieve it. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is take a moment to bless ourselves as we leave. And you could put yourself on gallery view so that you can see everyone, so we can all see each other. And please place your hands over your heart and repeat after me. The truth of my being is as radiant as a star.
The truth of my being is as radiant as a star.
The love within me is stronger than any other force in the universe.
The love within me is stronger than any other force in the universe.
I am a beloved blessing of the Creator.
I am a beloved blessing of the Creator.
Aho, blessed be. Now take one of your hands and put it out in front of you so that you can bless all the rest of us, and keep one hand remaining on your heart and repeat
And
after me.
unmute.
And if you, yes, unmute.
Unmute.
Thank you. Okay. The truth of your being is as radiant as a star.
The truth of your being is as radiant as a star.
The love within you is stronger than any other force in the universe.
The love within you is stronger than any other force in the universe.
You are a beloved blessing of the Creator.
You are a beloved blessing of the Creator.
Aho, blessed be. Amen.
Aho, blessed be. Amen.
Now, as we come to the end of our time together, please take your candle and transfer the light to your heart and send it forth to bless those who need blessings. Now, extinguish the flame even as our connection continues in spirit. Thank you all. We have a few upcoming events that we're running kind of late, but we still have written down a few things to share with you guys. We have First Sundays coming up again next month, and we have First Thursdays. I just lost a piece of paper that had all that written on it. There's First Thursdays. Penny is responsible for that. First Thursdays at 4 p.m. Is that correct?
That is
On
correct. Eastern
the-
time. Yep.
Thank
And
you, Eastern
we have
time.
John Grimm this Thursday, and he will be a delight.
Great, great. We also have the one at the end of the month, the last Thursday of the month. Want to share that one too, Penny? Friday.
That's community of practice, and that is a time where we use Joanna Macy's spiral that is very similar to the Four Paths, and we go through what's on our hearts, and it's a really an hour of conversation with people that are moved to come and talk about the moment in front of them right now.
So that's on the 23rd. That's the fourth Friday, the 23rd.
Yeah.
And then we do have the Song Fest. I don't know if you found your list or not, but that's on the 13th, Tuesday the 13th.
Thank you, Carolyn. Thank you. Okay.
Can you tell us about Songfest, Carolyn? I don't know about that.
Well, Roxanne Schuler leads that, and if you're somebody who likes to sing, she gets together, and it's an hour and a half of singing different songs that are creation spirituality oriented. And so if you look at cscommunities.org, look at the calendar events, you'll see it there, and you should be able to get a link as well. I think it's at 4:30 Eastern time.
On a Tuesday, right?
Yes, the second Tuesday, the 13th.
No way. Okay.
I might be wrong about the time, though. For me, I don't know, I get confused because I'm on Pacific, but just check the calendar. Of course, you're on Pacific, too.
That's right.
Is it right in the middle of the day, Carolyn?
Let me just double check.
For us, for Pacific time people, like 1:30?
Yeah, it's always kind of in the middle of the day for us.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for all the contributions and everything. We're so glad that you all came.
It's great to
Hope
see
you'll
everybody.
come back again next month, Tati. We enjoyed having you.
You know, it says 7 p.m. for Song Path, but my memory is that it started at 7:30. So just to let you know, I think it actually starts at 4:30 our time. Because I know I signed on at 4 and nobody was there, and then it was like, oh no, we do it at 4:30.
Okay.
So you might be able to attend. Thank you all
Bye,
for coming.
Sylvia.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Penny.
Thank you,
Bye.
Penny.
Thank you so much, Penny. Yes, thank you.
Glad to
Good to
be
see
here.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Wonderful to see you. Carolyn, don't sign out for a second. I just want to say I'm really sorry. My brain was not comprehending. I didn't mean to argue with you about that. I wasn't getting it, I guess, because I was so focused on everything else. And
It's no problem. It worked out fine.
I'm so
But
sorry.
you do need
It
to add
just
Michael and myself to the team because you introduced 5 members and didn't include Michael and myself.
Oh my goodness. See, I had, and then the typos that you found in the stuff. It's just like I needed extra eyes. I can't.
You
I have
know,
to have extra eyes. That's
we
why I
have
sent
more
y'all all the
opportunities in
script.
the future, so I don't stress about it. Toddy, it was really good to see you here today, and I hope we get a chance to see you again.
Yes.
I think it's just us, huh?
I think so. They disappeared on us really quickly. Oh,
I think I'm going to sign off as well.
all right. Good night. Good night, sweetie.
Good night. Take care.
Good night, Toddy. Okay. Get out of here.